Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
All right, welcome back to another great edition of Freed on Business. We're going to talk with a couple of tremendous people today. First up, we're going to have a recorded episode that I did at the Inveniam Tokenization Conference. We're going to talk about family offices and what they're looking for in today's securities market. We're going to be on with Anna Dinescu. She's a founder of Liberty Road, and Anna will be with us. And then the rest of the show, my partner in the residential mortgage business, Ed Cairo, and I will go over a whole bunch of the different things that we're seeing in the marketplace, a bunch of scenarios. It's something to talk about because today is the time. You need to get your home financed if you haven't done it already. If you're not perfect, that's probably why you waited. We can get you financed. There's lots of great programs out there. So stick with us. We're going to talk about a lot of great stuff today. We'll start off with Anna right after a word from Warren Henry. Mr. Mendoza, rock the house. Mr. Mendoza, thank you so much for always getting all those buildings that I've done in the shots. It's incredible that you seem to get all these shots with the buildings that I do, and then I realize I've done them in all the submarkets. It's impossible to not get them in the aerial views. Hey, and if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. I want to thank Warren Henry for their years and years of support for the show. Thank you so much to Samantha, Warren, Larry, Eric, and of course, my good friend Abe, who's going to help me get my Lamborghini at the Lamborghini store. Remember, if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why I have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne in that tremendous store. Up in Gainesville, that's where Audis are sold. Down in the Keys, they've got everything down there. All great stores, all great cars. They want them all. What do they all come with? They all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. What's that? This great list of extra services you get when you buy your car at Warren Henry. Not only do you become a member of the Warren Henry family, but you get people like Maytel Stark. She's my personal service writer. She helps my wife, my family, all of us get the best service that we can have. When you get the Warren Henry Advantage, you'll get complimentary polishing up of your rims if you scratch them up. That's always a good thing for me because I always park close to the curb, and sometimes I kiss the curb. I've lost my keys. Those cost like $100 to replace. They replace them for free at Warren Henry. They make sure you get the best price. They guarantee it on both your trade-in and on your car that you buy. And if you don't like that car, they'll give you 3 days to return it. Guess what? Nobody returns their car because they love it. So join me, my mom, and my beautiful wife, Vivian, or if you prefer the order, me, my beautiful wife, Vivian, and my mom. That's them behind me right there. Oh, gosh, I'm blocking them with the microphone, Mr. Mendoza. There they are. There they are. Remember, always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
It's time to stop the hate and spread some love. You are beautiful, you're smart, you are awesome, and you never have to change for anybody. You have the voice and you have the power. We are so much stronger when we come together. It's your choice, so choose to be inspired. Choose to be accepting, be strong, be brave, be awesome, be daring, be kind. Choose kindness.
I love that spot because they talk about my clients. My clients are all awesome. They're daring. They take risks. They're wonderful people. They're kind to me. We do kindness with each other. They're tremendous market leaders in their sector. I help them get incredible capital solutions. If it's a house that they need financed, I can help them with my special relationship I have with Ed Cairo. You'll hear about that later in the show. If it's commercial, I have great relationships with all kinds of cutting edge capital providers. And you've heard me talk about tokenization. It's the new thing. We're going to be doing NFTs for a lot of my clients. I talked about it today twice at breakfast. That's right. I did do breakfast today. So remember, reach out to me. If you're a family office, I was with two of them today. If you're a family office looking to gear up, I helped some of them meet some new people today. I added to their team. And then the second group, we had a great discussion about creative capital ideas. Remember, whenever you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're back at the Inveniam Conference again. We ran out of time on our regular show, so this is an after-hours show with Anna Dinescu. She's with Liberty Road Capital out of London. Anna, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's my absolute pleasure. I know I butchered your name 52 different times. I apologize for that. But really, I do appreciate you being on with us because you're really a vital component of what's going on here. When I went up to you, I asked you a question. I didn't know what the answer would be. I said, so what's going on in the derivative market here? I said, they haven't started yet. And you said, wait a minute, they really have. So what's going on in the derivative market for real estate tokens? And why didn't I know that it started yet?
Well, that's such a tricky question to answer. Derivatives literally started a lot, and what Liberty Road is doing is actually only trading options for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So going back to your question, this has been going on for the past 2 years, and 2021 has been the year where we could see, not only options for Bitcoin but options for Ethereum as well coming on the market, and the growth has been significant in terms of 500% market growth in terms of the options that are there, which is quite impressive. We can only compare it to probably what was happening in the 80s with the commodities market, something like that.
So are we facing a bubble in the cryptocurrency market?
Not necessarily a bubble. I wouldn't call it a bubble because the growth is just a normal consequence of what is happening in the DeFi space and in blockchain. Blockchain has been out there for the past 13, 14 years now. It's not a surprise, and the DeFi space has started a long time ago. The derivative is just a natural consequence of all that in terms of the capital markets, adoption of blockchain and that technology for capital markets.
So we've got blockchain technology, we've got the capital markets, we've got option trading in cryptocurrencies. How long is it going to take before we get a secondary market really functioning in the real estate token space?
Well, I was just talking earlier, and where's the future? I mean, I wish I had that crystal globe to tell me where the future, when it's going to happen. But are we going to see that ETF NFTs tradable? Are we going to see the next indexes or the next synthetic products in terms of NFTs? For sure. When is that going to happen? It's just a matter of the industry and the adoption.
Yeah. On the panel that you were on, they talked about the fact that that things were happening so fast that it was really democratized, that it came up for that, but that it hadn't completely started yet, but that it was just getting ready to. Tell me what it feels like when you're looking at something, because you really are an advisor for family offices, right?
Yes.
So what is a family office looking for before they dive in to real estate tokens?
Oh, well,
fair question. Come on.
Very fair question. The family offices are considered an institutional investor.
Yes.
Everything that we know in the traditional, because family offices have been very conservative in terms of their approach to finances so far. And what we've been seeing so far, it's not working. The traditional way of looking at portfolios is not working anymore. And they are definitely out there and looking. And you can see today in this event, a lot of family offices here looking out there, what are the opportunities on the market because of very simple reason. the 60-40 portfolio is not working for them anymore. They need to diversify. They need to look into, alternative assets. They need to look at real estate. They need to look at, gold. They need to look at cash. They need to look at digital currencies. And why is that? Is because the crypto is bringing to their portfolio an improved risk-adjusted return. This is significant. There is no asset class like Bitcoin, if you want to call it like that, or the crypto that outperform the equity markets. So if you're really looking into improving your returns, if you're looking in improving your risks, well, you definitely have to be looking at the digital markets, and that's one of the asset categories that it's been discussed here today, and it's growing so fast.
So tell me about the correlation to the marketplace. How does Bitcoin relate when the stock market goes up and down for the sophisticated people? What's its beta correlation to the market?
Well,
sorry for talking technically.
No. It's a very good question. It used to be completely uncorrelated with the traditional markets, and it used to be like seen as obviously we can talk about Bitcoin. What is it? Is a digital gold? Is a store of value? Has many faces. Bitcoin itself, and until a few months ago, it used to be completely uncorrelated with the equities. But because of a lot of institutional investors, a lot of players that are coming to this field right now, we are seeing, it's becoming more correlated. And although it's behaving completely, chaotic, we're seeing those things when the equity markets, are down. The first thing that, any asset manager is going to do is going to get off that risk on assets that they have. And digital currencies, the digital assets, is a risk on asset. So the equities market fall. Obviously, they start selling the risk on assets, and then obviously the Bitcoin markets fall. So it's becoming correlated for that reason, and it's going to take probably a few more months that these correlations are still going to be out there until it's going to be completely decoupled. But it's just a matter of time.
I love it how we're talking about weeks and months in the financial markets. It used to be years and decades and generations. My God, this is tremendous. So I want to really drill down on something you guys were talking about on your panel earlier, and that's that the fact of the matter is that the financial services market is always looking for the next shiny object, the next new product that your clients are really going to go and they're going to call you and go, what's on the horizon that I can get out in front of and do today? And what's the answer?
Well, I definitely say Liberty Road,
There you go.
I have to say it.
There you go.
Well, our returns are impressive, and sometimes I'm afraid of even mentioning the returns because early this morning yesterday morning it was somebody who was saying, okay, you have your money, you want to put it in a deposit with a bank, and they will get you a 0.5%, 1% interest rate.
It's horrible.
Terrible. And then everybody was like, why wouldn't I just go into a liquidity pool, into the DeFi space, and put it there, and just by staking it, I can get low 20s, maybe high 10s, let's say, because it's not.
And is it safe?
Well, it's not as safe. Obviously, you have liquidity pools, have credit risk, they have counterparty risk, they have hacking risks. You cannot deny them. Although if you're looking at how many liquidity pools are there and how many got hacked, the percentage is quite small. But
how big is the minimum investment for a liquidity pool? This is for a real big person that's holding it in a bank. This isn't for mom and pop on Wall Street, right?
Yeah. But liquidity pools can be from very small to very big. I don't think they have a minimum, or maybe just very specialized one. Usually.
Okay.
But and then talking about 20%, everybody was like, wow, too good to be true.
Yeah.
Well, the Liberty Road returns, are starting from a simple covered call strategy that returns 50% annualized.
Oh my God.
It can go to a full vol trading strategy that returns 170%. So imagine that in your portfolio, allocating.
What do you mean imagine? I want it in my portfolio.
Between 1% or 5% of your portfolios, everybody's thinking, allocating that. It's going to increase dramatically, your risk-adjusted return.
I remember when I was in college, I invented fire in the wheel in college. But we talked about the fact that the pension funds were going to eventually allocate 3 to 5% to real estate. They only had like 0.0%. That was the mid-'80s. Today, they've gone up there. You've seen dramatic drive up in the institutional growth, a collapse in cap rates to the real low levels, and it's because of its institutional demand. So, do you see increased demand as the democratization continues, and how do people access this type of a product?
There is a lot of demand. I would say not necessarily demand, there's a lot of interest. And there are two different things.
Yeah.
People are still, like testing the waters because, it's something new. Depending on your idea or your investment strategies, you don't want to just throw yourself into the best because it looks so good, it sounds so good. You want to maybe take your time, analyze everything, really, get a good understanding of what is happening. We're having calls with the quant teams from, big pension funds, institutional investors, and the quants they're very traditional in the way that they're looking at things. And they ask you, okay, what is your standard deviation? How do you calculate that? How is your AI outlining that? So there's a lot of things that, how are they allocating, or what is the demand? The interest is there, definitely. Demand is going to come. It's coming by, there are few people, and I'm praising the Liberty, I have to say it.
No, but because I did the thing backwards. I should have asked you about yourself and the company. Instead, I went right into the ideas.
The emerging managers like us.
What do you mean emerging manager?
Digital asset management, it's an emerging manager.
That's fine. I want you just to say what it was. I know what you meant, but I wanted to make sure.
They are 90% probably just doing classical, simple arbitrage opportunities against the exchanges.
Right.
Which is a very simple thing to do.
But I'm not going to get 150%.
No, you're not.
I'm going to get a flattened out percentage because there's a lot less risk and everybody's doing it.
Exactly. But let's say
I'm really not as smart as her.
Out of those, the remaining 10%, there are a few that are doing derivatives. There are a few that have other strategies, but out of those, probably even less than 1% are doing at the level that we're doing in terms of using the AI and the investment process or investment management process that we are using. The partners team has at least 30 years of experience in only trading options, so derivatives market. It's different when you come to the market. I have nothing against young people that are 20 years old. They are very
Listen,
talented.
You're not exactly an old fogey.
I am actually older than I look. But,
oh my God! No. We don't talk. Well, no. That's far as we're going on that.
I'm very lucky to have all these experienced partners that help me and that I learn every day from them. And definitely, I have to say, and I said it in there. Experience in the end, it's definitely gonna put their mark on you. It's the people, institutional investors feel much more comfortable with the tools that they are familiar with. The structure that is already there in place. A classical prime broker, a classical custodian, and everything. Until you actually explain to them that the classical things you cannot use them anymore, and those are transforming. They're coming new custodians to the market. New prime brokers to the market, and then but you're putting in place a structure that looks familiar to them, and they see the benefits because it is much better. The technology is much better than what they used to do. There's no denying that.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because we've only got a couple of minutes, because I know you got to rock the free world out there. Okay, so who are you? How'd you get started? And what's Liberty Road Capital? Because I'm going to have you back. I'm going to flip this at a whole bunch of people, and you are already the role model for a whole bunch of people that I already know. Oh my gosh.
I'm flattered.
Oh, so where'd you come from? How'd you get here?
Well, I was invited by...
Not at the conference, at Liberty Road Capital. How'd you get to be Anna Dinescu?
Oh, my background is pretty much in merger acquisitions for Oracle, so technology. And since 2015,
in Europe or the United States?
Europe. Actually, in Europe, they have 3 centers: one in the US, one in Eastern Europe, which is Romania, my country of origin, and one in India. But anyway, focusing on all the EMEA region. So that's my background. 2015, I got into risk management, focused on fintech mostly. And fintech back in the days was just blockchain was just coming to the market. And since then, it's all about blockchain, all about innovation, all about, ICOs. I've seen the 2017, boom of ICOs and all these coins and everything else. But I do see the opportunities, and I do think that this is here to stay. And obviously, that's how 2 years ago I started Liberty Road with my partners. And it's a very simple, traditional digital asset manager that is trading only derivative options for Bitcoin and Ethereum.
How about that? Right under the finish line, too. Hey, listen, Anna Dinescu, Liberty Road Capital. I'm going to ask you to come back again because I know you got a whole bunch of meetings you got to go to right now. Would you grace us with your appearance again sometime soon?
Definitely. Anytime. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. Anna Dinescu, thought leader, pioneer, Bitcoin extraordinaire person. And remember, she can get your family office 150+% at least she has in the past. Anna, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Mr. Regan Mendoza, it's all yours. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that tremendous interview that I did with Anna. She's amazing. We'll have her on with some more thought leaders in that space in the coming weeks. Next week, we're going to have a show that's going to be dedicated to the next step in real estate, creative, fintech financing. So we're going to give away a little bit of secret next week, but it'll be tremendous. I want to thank Anna and the folks at Inveniam for helping us create such tremendous content over the past couple of weeks. And remember, want something else tremendous? Go see my friends at Warren Henry. Thank you so much to all of my friends at Warren Henry, especially my good friend Larry's in. Larry, thank you so much for continuing to sponsor the show. Larry helped us get a QX60 2022 when I went to get the insurance. They didn't even have it on the insurance rating form yet because they didn't know they were out. So thank you, Larry, for helping Vivian, my beautiful wife, get the first one in Miami and maybe in the United States, it seemed like. And remember, when you're looking to buy or lease your car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne. Down in the Keys, they sell all their great cars. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audi. What do they have in common? Well, they're all great cars. They all come with the Warren Henry advantage. What is that? Excuse me. That's a whole list of services that you can get, including, of course, the free loaner if you're leaving your car there. They'll help you polish up your rims if you scratch them up on the curb. I do it all the time. If you lose your keys, I've done it a couple different times. They'll help you get a new pair of keys for free. They'll make sure you get the best price for your used car. They'll make sure you get the best price on your new car. And if you don't like that car, they'll give you 3 days to return it. Nobody returns them because they love the car. So join me, my beautiful wife, Vivian, and of course, my mom. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best service, always the best price, always Warren Henry.
This is Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. And we are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
Rebecca Carlson and her team at Carlson Integrated are tremendous. I'm going to give a shout out to Rebecca. I hope she's enjoying her girls' vacation with her daughter. The daughter asked Rebecca to take her on a special bucket list trip, and that's where they are. So, Rebecca, thanks for handing it off to your team and taking it easy this week. You deserve it. Hey, You know what else people deserve? People deserve the best service they can get, thoughtful service, kind service. That's what you get when you reach out to me. I help families all across town execute their real estate plans. I met with one family today. They mentioned that they needed a new member of their team. I helped them meet that new member, got them together. Then I had another meeting with a different family office. They're splitting up from their current operating partners, starting a new venture. They asked me if I could help them with some creative capital solutions. I said yes. They really wanted to learn about tokenization. And my first call today was with another family office, and we talked about tokenization. So if you want some creative real estate solutions, give me a call, reach out to me. You can DM me, you can text me, the email's down there, the cell phone's down there. And whenever you reach out to me, there's one thing that's always true. And that is when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn,
Ed,
YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Well, today's show shows you how far I can go on the different levels. First, we talked about derivatives for family offices in the $1 billion range. Now we're going to bring on my partner in the residential business, Ed Cairo, and we're going to talk about residential mortgages. Ed, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, Ed, the reason I brought you on is because there's been a dynamic shift in the residential market. We've been getting, at least through me, at least one or two, not even leads, referrals and deals that we're closing each week with people. I thought at the beginning of the year I'd never do another residential mortgage, and then my phone has been ringing off the hook. What's been going on, and why are people focused?
Well, obviously the inventory has been very low, which has been the case for quite a long time. So people are having a lot of trouble finding properties. But then on the other side of it, the rates have been going up quite a bit since, let's say, the last quarter. So people aren't qualifying in the same way they did, let's say, in November or December. So we have to have some other ways to qualify, especially some of these self-employed business owners. There's some new programs out there that are really helping people qualify for mortgages, whereas, prior to that, they couldn't do it.
Yeah, I know. The thing that brought it to my attention was when we spoke about buying my new home. You said, Jim, now you can qualify. And I said, wow, that's tremendous, because I had dynamic income because of the pandemic, and I have only 1099 income. It's in fact why I started working with you. Let's take a step back for a minute. I'm going to talk to people about how we met, Ed. I have a friend. My friend is in the title business. When I said I wanted to start helping my friends with residential mortgages at the beginning of the pandemic, they referred me to you. The reason that I enjoy working with you is the experience that you and your team bring to the table. Could you talk about your team for just a couple seconds, and maybe if they're around, you could bring them in and they could give a face shot? I know they love sticking their face in the frame.
They always do. But there's two members of my team that are my brothers. So we're in our circle known as the Mortgage Brothers, 3 Italians, and I started doing the mortgages about, I'd say, 25 years ago. I've been a licensed realtor since 1983, which will date me to a certain extent, and I've been doing the mortgages for about 25 years. My older brother Paul came in quite a while ago and started working with me since we brought my younger brother in, Greg, who's an MBA, and he took 2 dinosaurs and cleaned us up a little bit and brought us up to the 21st century. So I'll bring them in actually and let you say hello to these guys. But without them, we can't do what we do, because our process is smooth, and I'm kind of on the front end, structuring the loans, underwriting the loans pretty much. Greg does all the processing, all the middle stuff, plus all the IT and everything you can imagine. His resume is insane. And then my older brother, Paul, is the closer. And without him, these things don't get closed. So between the 3 of us, that's the core of the team. And then, of course, we have all the loan officers, too. We have quite a few loan officers. Jim's one of them. And, they've been trained by me. And, we have a really nice system that works. I mean, basically everything closes because we do a lot of work up front to make sure.
Yeah, the thing that I think surprises everybody is that when we present the file to the lender, it's pretty much finished and complete. Mm-hmm. And the reason that you operate that way is because that way your loan request gets priority when it's submitted. Tell a little bit about the type of lenders that you like to work with, because a lot of people think it's Chase Bank, it's Bank of America, and the reality is those financial institutions want nothing to do with retail mortgage lending anymore.
That's absolutely true. And, although they still do some lending, when a realtor deals with, let's say, a Bank of America pre-approval or Wells Fargo, all those, they're starting to get to the point where they understand that those approvals in a lot of ways are worthless, because, as an order taker asking questions with no documentation, and they're giving these people pre-approvals without going through the process of any kind. With us, it's a little bit different. Through a lot of experience, failing many times in different areas or whatever, you start to finally figure it out. And what we've done here and the way we run our operation is that, before anybody gets pre-qualified, I make sure I get all the documentation, the credit report. I do a LexisNexis on them, the whole 9 yards. I want to see everything, all the income documentation, assets. So basically, I underwrote the loan before it even goes into the lender. And, with these lenders, people don't even realize, but they're watching the things that we do, and they're tracking us, and there's things like pull through, as an example. What that means is, if I were to lock a loan for a customer, they have to hedge that money, and that costs money to do. They put the money, let's say, aside for this lock. Well, if it doesn't close, for whatever the cost is, there's a cost to the lender for that. Now, you do that too many times and you don't lock loans, they don't like that. That's the first thing. The second thing is there's something called underwriter touches. How many times is the underwriter touching your file? If you're onesie, twosie, uploading different things here and there, and the underwriter's got to be in it 14 different times, what happens is a couple things. First thing is our files are going to get underwritten first, because of our underwriter touches, where they want to see 3 times that the underwriter touches the file. They want to be close to that, not 10, not 15. They want to see 3. So we're running around 4, which is excellent, which is pretty good. So what happens is our turn times are a lot faster. So a lot of times I'll take a loan, I'll underwrite it myself. I present it to the underwriter already done for him. I hand him a nice, clean, beautiful package, and I'll have an approval done in 2 hours, as an example.
I want to hold that thought, because I do want to talk more about the process, because it's not simple and easy. Mm-hmm. And in fact, you're an artist. We're going to be right back with more with Ed Cairo, the mortgage artist, after this. I'm wondering, Mr. Mendoza, do you go around town and you do some of those videos? It's just some tremendous stuff we've got going on there. You are just the rocking the show guy. And I want to thank Ed for giving away all the secrets. We're going to talk more mortgage secrets with Ed in just a minute. You're going to want to make sure you hear that. And remember, if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you want to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Inveniam Jaguar, up at 151st and Biscayne. In Gainesville, they sell Audis. Down in the Keys, well, they've got all the great nameplates down there. What do all those cars have in common? Well, they're all great cars, and they come with the Warren Henry advantage. That means you get a whole great group of complimentary services, including, of course, a free loaner if your car's in for service for any period of time. You get the complimentary polishing up of your rims. If you scratch up your rims, you get key replacement. That's worth $100 every time. That happens to me at least once every time I own my car. What else? Well, you get a guaranteed price that you're going to get the best price for your used car and your new car. And, of course, you get 72 hours to make sure you're going to like your car. Guess what? Everybody likes their car. If you don't like your car, you return it. Nobody returns their car. They all love it. They all love being part of the Warren Henry family. Shout out to May Stark, my service writer. It's time for me to go get some service. I'm going to go see May. They always make sure I get a good price and use all their coupons on that, too. So remember, go down to Warren Henry. Always the best price. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I stopped by. I missed my favorite part. So join me, my beautiful wife, Vivian, my mom, Lolly, Grandma Lolly. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price. Always the best service. You know the next part. Always Warren Henry.
It's time to stop the hate and spread some love. You are beautiful, you're smart, you are awesome, and you never have to change for anybody. You have the voice and you have the power. We are so much stronger when we come together. It's your choice, so choose to be inspired. Choose to be accepting, be strong, be brave, be awesome, be daring, be kind. Choose kindness.
I've been running that ad for years. You know, eventually her outfit and hairstyle, I guess, will go out of style, but her message never will. It's the same message I bring to my transactions in real estate. You know, today I met with her, had phone calls with 3 separate families. One family is doing memory care, healthcare. I do a lot of deals with them. We're talking to them about doing tokenization. The second family I met with, they had a hiring requirement. I introduced them to a young person that I've been working with down here for quite some time. The person proved to me that they are of strong desire and strong knowledge, and I introduced them to the family. Hopefully they'll start doing deals together with me. And of course, the next family was a group that's transitioning from one operating partner to the next, and they're asking me if I can help them raise a fund and help them with their new acquisitions. And of course, the answer is yes. Each a different set of facts, each a different solution, each helped by my access through my phone to my network. Here's my phone right there. There it is. That's my phone. That's the magic thing that got Vivian her kidney. Let it get you your deal. Also, remember, reach out to me on the phone, reach out to me on the email, put up a smoke signal. That works too. And remember, whenever you reach out to me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're back with my partner in the residential mortgage business, Ed Cairo. Hey, Ed.
Hey, how are you?
Oh my gosh, who's that? Oh, sorry.
I mentioned the boys.
Mr.
They have to
Mendoza
show up.
here.
Hey, they're here.
Ah, there they are. That's the Mortgage Brothers. Oh my gosh. Take a screen grab. They're the 3 smartest Italian mortgage brokers in Broward County. Or you in Palm Beach County? I don't know. Up there.
Palm Beach, right.
Okay, Palm Beach County. That makes it even better market to be in. Hey guys, first of all, I want to thank you all for helping my clients close their deals efficiently, making sure all of the funds are distributed correctly and on time. And of course, the most important part after their part is getting Ed and I paid. I really can't thank you enough for that. I really did. I talk about on my ad, when they call me, it's always all about them. That's why I work together with you. You have the exact same focus. Every single time, every one of my clients, they can't thank you enough. The title companies love you. And Ed, again, it's all that concept about how few touches it takes to close a file. Let's talk again a little bit about how you and your brothers help the back end get executed better, because really what we're doing here is providing a service where it creates an efficiency and a kind execution in what can be a really horrendous situation. Please talk to people about what a realistic situation is. I come in, I take the interview. The interview takes like 35 minutes. They upload the information they need, and that's when the fun with you guys starts. Why don't you go through the process a little?
Right. So what'll usually happen is a loan officer, let's say as Jim, would take an application, and we required certain documents from the client, which they'll upload to us. Now we have them. And that is definitely when the fun begins, because what we'll do is we're going to go through every single document, and we're going to read everything, all the bank statements, everything, because I can say to you that just because somebody handed me a piece of paper, it doesn't mean that we're submitting it. You know, we only submit what we need to submit to the underwriter. Sometimes we won't submit things to underwriters, and we'll see what they're asking for, and then we'll give it to them in that respect, depending on how that goes. But what we will do is, you know, we're gonna basically underwrite the file before it goes in. And what that means is we have a knowledge. I know exactly what the underwriter is going to ask for on this particular program, you might say. So we feed them the documents that they need. So when it comes back from underwriting, it's kind of been underwritten already for the underwriter. And we're going to have very few we call conditions. You know, they look at a bank statement, they say, okay, what's this large deposit? You know, where'd this money come from? I need documentation on whatever it might be. So we'll have a list, and what we'll do is we'll give the list to the customer, and that's where Greg. That's where Greg comes in, right there. Greg, there you go.
That's right.
That's where Greg comes in. So Greg will then take that those list of conditions, and he'll order appraisals and title and insurance and coordinate all that. There's a lot of coordination in this business. We're kind of like the beginning, but what we're doing is we're tying in the insurance company, the title company, the realtors, the buyers, the sellers. Everybody kind of goes through us. So once Greg gets his hold of the file, it's been approved already by the underwriter. There's things that need to be ordered and completed. He's handling that. In the meantime, let's see. Oh, there it is. Oh, there's Paul. Okay. In the meantime, then Paul gets the file as Greg is clearing all the conditions, the appraisals in on, it then goes to Paul, and Paul is a genius when it comes to numbers. So he will go over the closing document with the client. He'll go through the numbers. He'll make sure, before they go to the closing table, he's already gone over those numbers with them. So the title company does not have to go through anything. We've already done that.
Now, this is the part where I say, I really don't know how to do any of that. I only know one thing. I know that I'm surrounding myself with experts, and my friends and clients absolutely love it. I got to say, the minute that I hand a file off to you, it's usually the last time I talk to the client, unless you really need something unusual, because they love working with you.
Yeah, and some of these files are a little challenging, you might say, but it's like anything else. We'll know beforehand whether we can close it, and like I said, we basically close everything because we know in the beginning whether it's an actual file or it's not a file. And if it's not, then we're honest with the client. We let them know what they need, and maybe they don't buy this year, maybe they're buying next year, but we're setting them up through the year and helping them get to the point where their credit score might be a little too low, or they don't make enough income, they don't have enough assets, whatever it might be. And we're going to basically coach them. So next year when they're ready, which I have one right now, as a matter of fact, he couldn't do it last year, but I just got him approved yesterday, as a matter of fact. Two of them.
Well, that's one of the differences, because unless somebody's a slam it through deal, they do need coaching. They do need hand holding. This is a horrendous process that you make somewhat more palatable by being an expert at it. It takes this many documents. It's ridiculous. Nobody's perfect. In the next segment, we're going to talk some war stories about deals we're currently working on. And the reason is because there's only 9 or 10 million people left in the entire United States that are perfect for financing. And the reality is they're not doing it because they don't need to. Right. So the rest of the people are viewed as by the mortgage companies as, I don't want to say subprime, but not total prime. And that's where we specialize in. You and the team help me bring my pretty much prime clients and help make them financeable. And we're going to talk war stories and how we do that after this. I want to thank you for bringing in the brothers. Now, brothers, go back to work and make me some more money. I need more checks from you. I love you all. My bank account loves you even more. Mr. Mendoza will be back with more Ed Cairo. We're going to do this to the Mortgage Brothers, and we'll have just Ed Cairo on after this, and we'll talk war stories. And I got to tell you, that'll be the funnest part of the show. Mendoza, rock the world. Bye, guys. I tell you, when I watch those videos, it makes me feel so strong because I'm looking at all the deals that I've either closed or I'm going to close. And I apologize for everybody that drives around in traffic. Yes, it's my fault. I apologize. Really do. But when I do talk to people about how to solve the affordable housing crunch, I tell them to upzone around all the intersections and all the bus and train stations. That's a real good start. And then, but we'll talk affordable housing with some of the experts on the upcoming show. Mr. Mendoza, make sure to remind me about that, and let's put one of those together. I know you're tremendous at helping me remember things and put things together. You know who else is a tremendous asset in my universe? Oh, Larry Zinn. Oh, yeah, I love you, Larry Zinn. And Abe Cohn, get your Lamborghini hat on. We're going to get a sexy car with you, too, soon. But Larry's so cute. Well, I guess you really shouldn't say cute about a guy that's, runs a big organization like that. But Larry is so wonderful. Every time he always says, Jim, go look at all the cars. And then he tells the guy, Jim's going to just get another Infiniti sedan. And guess what? He's right. Can't beat those Infiniti sedans, and you can't beat being a member of the Warren Henry family. So thank you to Larry. Thank you to Samantha, Eric. High five on your award. Everybody else over there. I love Maytel Stark. I'll be seeing her in a couple of weeks to get my service. And remember, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. What do they all have in common? Well, they're all great cars, and you get to be part of the Warren Henry family, and you get the Warren Henry advantage. That's a long list of services that comes with your car. It starts with the complimentary loaner. They can replace your keys if you lose them. Those are expensive keys. They'll polish up your rims if you scratch them up. I scratch mine up pretty much almost every day. I love to park close to the curb. What can I say? They'll make sure you get the best price on your used car, best price on your new car. And if you don't like your new car, you can exchange it after 3 days, up to 3 days. Guess what? Nobody exchanges them because they're all tremendous cars. Join me, lots and lots of my friends, my beautiful wife, Vivian, and of course, my mom. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service. Woo woo! Always Warren Henry.
This is Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. A lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
Rebecca Carlson brings that energy to virtually everything she does. And later on today, I have a call with one of the biggest real estate operating companies in the world, and she helps me build that relationship with them. So I want to thank you very much, Rebecca Carlson and Carlson Integrated, for being there and being part of my team of experts that helps me be successful every day. And hey, everybody, let me be part of your team of experts that helps you be successful every day. I help lots of real estate families and real estate operating companies capitalize their deals, transact on their deals, come up with new ideas. In fact, that's my specialty, is coming up with new ideas. If it's an idea in the can, you probably have it already. But if it's an idea that's coming next year, that's what I'm going to bring to you now. So remember, reach out to me, direct message me, text me, email me. It doesn't really matter. However you reach out to me, the result is always the same. When you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Thank you, as always, to Mr. Mendoza for showing all the deals that I've worked on in a creative and fun way. Mr. Mendoza, I can't do any of this without you, so thank you so much for that. We're back with Ed Cairo. Hey, Ed, how you doing, Bubba?
Hello, how you doing, Jim?
I'm good. I missed the Mortgage Brothers. They really filled up the screen there. They're tremendous. You are such a lucky man to be able to work with your family like that. Yeah. I know it brings you joy every day, and it brings me joy because not only are they your family members, but they're tremendous at what they do.
They are. They really are.
So let's talk a little bit, Ed. I promised some war stories, so let's talk war stories. Let's talk about the most perfect loan I ever did. I had a friend. He had the house forever. He had W-2 income. He qualified for Fannie Freddie. It was a lay down, but he still worked with us. Tell me about my friend Mark and how you helped him.
That particular loan was very, very nice guy. We got along very nicely. we were able to, I think we got him approved in literally in 24 hours. And there wasn't many conditions. And the nice thing about him was we were able to lock him in at a real nice rate. And, he was very happy in the end.
Now, that was completely different, not the happiness part, but the transactional structuring was completely, and the level of difficulty was completely different when we worked with a friend of mine that's one of the top leasing agents in town. We see his stuff everywhere. He's hot as a pistol. Let's talk a little bit about what you did for him and why he was different than the guy with the perfect file and the W-2s.
Yeah, that particular one, right. We we had some difficulty with some of the, although he does make a lot of money, a bank looks at the income a little differently than most people would look at it. So there was some challenges with his income, and we were able to kind of get around that. And that particular client, we locked him in on a big jumbo loan at a rate that, was just unbelievable. We were able to.
My favorite is when you tell the person that you're going to get them a rate and they're going to staple it to their front door and love you for the next 30 years.
That's right.
Let's see, what's another one? Okay, today I've got a friend. He's got a $4 million house. He's a lawyer. He's got income that's up. He's got income that's down. It comes in from a different bunch of personal companies he has. He closed the company that has the most of the income over the last 2 years. And he's got dynamic credit. That's what I say when it's not really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Ed, that guy's financeable, isn't he?
He is. He actually is. And that particular one, there's a couple of, that's a very challenging loan because there's, let's just say, more than one loan on the property, up to 4. And we're pulling payoffs on each one. We're negotiating those. And I was able to, the thing about that one is that whether we went full doc, meaning tax returns, could not do it for a certain reason. Bank statement loan, which is another loan that we do, could not do that one. So there was a couple of loans that we would be able to usually do with guys like this, and we couldn't. So there's a program that came out what they call a no ratio loan, and there's no income verification whatsoever. No job, no income. Nobody cares.
Wow.
Doesn't matter. So because he's got a decent credit score, and I say decent, not great, but not bad, we were able to get him. Matter of fact, he got approved yesterday. Very little conditions. And we're going to close them. Yeah, we're going to close them.
Tell your brother I'm waiting for my check. Here's another guy. This is very interesting. Yep. This is very interesting. So we got another guy, and this guy's a referral. This guy got referred to me. He just sold his company. His cash is all tied up. He has his dream home, and this is the part I really love. His mom is going to gift him 50% of the cost of the house. So the guy, is he financeable?
He is actually, and when we talked about him the other day, right, it was quite a big loan, and like Jim said, his assets right now are a little tough for him to get his hands on. So what I suggested was that we do a cash out refi for the mother, add him and his wife to title, and now the 3 of them own the property. So he really doesn't have to come up with any money out of his pockets. It's like a zero to the table kind of deal. Now the 3 of them are on there. And once he gets to the point where we can finance him in a better way, then we'll do another rate and term refinance, and we'll pull the mother-in-law off, and we'll leave him on, and there he goes with no money down.
Now here is the story of everybody in America. I have my fraternity brother. Another fraternity brother referred him to me with the saying that I was the mortgage whisperer. My fraternity brother wants to buy the rental condo that he's in. Nobody knows the value of anything right now. My friend is self-employed, and Ed, you take it from there. We've only got about 5 minutes left.
Yeah, on that one. So on those, in a lot of cases, these are investor loans. These are they call non-residential, not non-commercial loan. And if you're buying an investment property and you have issues showing enough income to qualify for that property, we don't have to show income at all. I need a 620 credit score or higher in some cases, 640, 660, depending on the investor.
And that's not really massive. That's sort of subprime-ish.
It sure is. And what will happen, and, of course, the rate would reflect that. If you have a 760 as compared to a 620, I mean, obviously your rate will be a little different. But aside from that, what we do with that is we take the property and we'll do two appraisals. We'll do one, which is a straight appraisal for value. And then we do another appraisal, which is a rental schedule, which is a second add-on to the appraisal. And whatever the market rent is in the area, and let's call it $2,500, let's say that they would get for this property, as long as his payment, PITI payment, is less than $24.99, he's approved. Period. Done.
Wow.
Done,
Now,
done.
I want to go back to what we talked about. I want to go back to what we talked about at the beginning. I went, and when I decided I would help my friends with residential mortgages, and I'm not really doing too many lay down mortgages. Every one of them is dynamic, problematic, an issue, but we're always helping a friend do what my brand is. I self-actualize by helping other people achieve their dreams and goals. Oh, before I forget, Ed, Mr. Mendoza, before we have Ed on again, I want to make sure I get him down here. The next time he's on, I want to do it live, and I want to get some cutouts for ads. Okay, Ed, you're on alert. You can even bring your brothers down. We go to Monty's. We have a great time. Okay,
They'll do that.
All right. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a meeting of the mortgage brothers in Miami. But Ed, I found you. I was referred to you by one of the best title people in town. They told me we really get along. I really didn't believe them. Boy, were they right. I surround myself with the experts, but beyond that, I also surround myself with people who are kind. And that's the most important thing right here. There's a number of people where you've come straight out at them and said that they're not financeable. There's other people that you've helped curate them until they are financeable. I want to thank you so much for all my clients that you've helped. Realtors, commercial people that are in the government sector, people that are in the financial services. My favorite was the person that you helped, where I've gotten 2 referrals from one of my clients. Both of them, one was his child and the other was one of the people that taught him how to recreate. We'll talk about both of those loans on the next show, because guess what, Ed? It's time to close the show.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody. Thank everybody for being on today. I want to thank Ed and the Mortgage Brothers for being there to back me up with all my clients and friends and all the referrals. Ed, I wouldn't be getting those referrals if you weren't so tremendous. We've done two deals for a couple different clients of mine now. So thank you to you and the Mortgage Brothers for helping me be an expert in that field. I want to thank Anna Dinescu and the folks at Inveniam for helping me with the concert. Anna from Liberty Road, she's a founder there, for helping have the capital markets perspective of the family offices. She's based in the Cayman Islands. And I want to thank, of course, Mr. Mendoza. Thank you so much for running the show. And then my last thank you goes out to our sponsors at Warren Henry and the University of Florida Center for Real Estate Studies. Larry, thank you so much for hosting me at all those great Supercar Saturdays. Ed, we should meet you and the brothers out at the Supercar Saturday. You guys would blow your mind. We'd have a great time. And I want to thank Tim Becker and the folks at the Bergstrom Center. I wasn't able to go to the event, but they made it like I was there by helping, liking, and reposting my high five to Dr. Archer, the legend that's retiring. Remember, the person that wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. And I'll add this one for Ed, and God bless the Mortgage Brothers. Mr. Mendoza, we're out. It's yours. Thank you, everybody.